Police officers of Reddit, what's the weirdest thing you've caught teenagers or kids doing that is illegal, but you found hilarious? My brother was a cop who worked nights in Minneapolis. One snowy night near the UOFO campus he noticed a car weaving, so he pulled them over thinking there would be alcohol involved. Nope, it was a car full of deaf people having an argument which included the driver. He just told the driver to not sign and drive. That for sure is a real thing and scary as shit. I have hearing impaired friends that are horrible drivers and of course they leave the dome light on in the car to be able to communicate at night, which doesn't help the cause. I mean, I understand it must be boring driving and not being able to listen to music. But shit, that's so scary when they try signing with someone in the back seat. This needs to be higher up. I have hard of hearing and deaf friends. They are hilarious. They named me S-Boobs because my name starts with an S and I have big boobs. Sign for S and then on boobs. Good times. Great people. Very visual, obviously. If they sing S and then on boobs, you are actually Supergirl. NSW police officer Australia. 7 years. Resigned. Shit money. Since everyone always asks. We got a call about kids, probably 11-12 jumping across backyards. They were looking for things to steal, I guess. We searched for them for about 15 minutes. Just as I was starting to get bored with it, I hear laughing coming from a drain pipe. It's at 4 feet tall. My mate and I decide to head in. About 30 meters down the tunnel I come see this kid bent over on all fours, pants down around his ankles. His mate is bent over, sitting on his back spreading the first kid's butt cheeks. There is a third kid kneeling next to the first kid's butt holding a lighter. They were in the midst of doing Blue Angels, lighting farts, in a dark tunnel. I had no freaking clue what to say. We told them to come out of the drain with us. I advised them not to tell any of their other friends what they had gotten up to since they would probably get the wrong reputation, and drove them within a block of one of the kids' houses so the parents didn't know they had been caught. Come out with your pants up. I am the Great Cornholio. Come out with your pants down. Are you threatening me? My brother was once jumping his bike off the end of the public boat dock behind the city hall, which also housed our police station. They had it tethered so it wouldn't get lost on the bottom. A cop came out, watched for a while and said, "I'm fairly certain something about that is illegal, but I can't figure out what, and it looks like fun. So be safe," and walked back inside. We had a ramp built off the end of our dock, with an old anchor rope tied to an old bike. There weren't a lot of local kids, but they all knew that we had no issue if they wanted to stop by and do some jumps, as long as they reeled the bike in and cleaned the mud off afterwards. One day a bunch of us were taking turns doing jumps and basically just freaking around at the lake when this cottage kid from down the road rides up on his brand new, very expensively tricked out BMX. He parks up on the road a few hundred feet away from us watching, then sees his chance and just freaking hurdles his way towards the ramp. A couple of people try to wave him off, but the kid just goes for it, nails it at a blistering fast speed and goes flying 3 or 4 times faster than any of us could go on the tether. He pops up out of the lake waving his fists in the air, shouting and carrying on like he just stole an Oscar from Leo. He swims back to shore and everyone is just staring at him while he carries on. Eventually one of the girls just says, "Dude, was that a new bike?" The kid's face just kind of crumpled in defeat. We all chipped in and tried to find the bike, but our lake is flooded farmland and the bottom is 6 or 7 feet of quicksand like mud. We dove, we dredged, we poked with paddles, nothing. Kid got in so much shit. I don't think his parents ever bought him another bike. At least it was a sweet jump though. Not illegal, but here is my go-to story. I was called to a residence where the complainant stated that a child from down the street had brought an item to their house and that she was at a loss. Upon arrival I made contact with complainant and she relayed this story. I was washing dishes and I looked out the window where all the girls, neighborhood girls between 6-9 years old, were playing on the trampoline. They were using a large rubber peanuts shaped device to hit each other. I ran out and grabbed it and turned it off. The kids had no clue what it was, and in their defense it was purple with sparkles and other inlays. Kinda pretty if not for the fact it was a 10 inches rubber dildo. While I secured the item in an evidence bag and no crime having been committed, I made a command decision to return it to the owner. I took it and rolled it up in said evidence bag in such a way it would unroll when held by the top. I then knocked on the dildo owner's door, and when she answered I snapped it down. Using my most curt cop voice I said, "Ma'am, your daughter secured your personal item and was accosting your neighbor's children with it about the face and neck. At this time your neighbor does not wish to pursue charges. However, I will need you to sign this evidence form." It was very detailed description, so I can return your personal item. I have never seen someone show so much embarrassment and humiliation as that lady did. She could not even speak or look at me. The best part was this other lady that was deeper in the residence that kept insisting on knowing what was going on. Dildos are just funny. Even the word dildo is funny. When I was about 11, we had a kid in our class who mixed up the letters B and D. Not mentally challenged, just slightly dumb, and we thought it would be hilarious to get him to write a story about the Hobbit. We were all in hysterics about the adventures of Dildo Daggins, but the teacher, female, mid-20s, was not. That was a fun little talk. Was she hot? Not illegal, but certainly weird. Got a noise complaint call where the neighbors informed dispatch the parents are out of town and suspect underage drinking and or possible drug use. These types of calls are the worst, because you can almost guarantee someone is puking in the back of your car and you'll have to write a buttload of local ordinance paper. We roll up, throw the overheads on to scatter as many as possible and make a slow walk up to the front door. We play the nobody's home game for a while until one of the kids lets my partner in the back door. We subsequently find around 12 teenagers and what appears to be multiple bottles of rum and vodka, as well as several baggies containing marijuana and some pills. Upon further inspection, we find the liquor bottles have been emptied and filled with water. The marijuana is actually oregano and parsley and the pills were just aspirin. They were having a pretend party to put on social media, but the strongest thing in the room was a Red Bull. These kids were smart. They stashed the real stuff inside their bodies. Playing nobody's home really means playing sodomize yourself with ecstasy. I've posted this before, but I always find it hilarious cause my dad is a goofy fun guy. He's been a cop for almost 30 years now and he loves his job cause he gets to be out in the community and make a difference. The guy is gonna retire next month and he's stoked he gets to play Battlefield and go on vacation. Anyway, he gets a call one night about some teenagers vandalizing a park. Dispatch lets him know that it's a lady that calls 24/7 thinking she's the neighborhood watch. So as he cruises in towards this park he comes in all lights blacked out and watches from a distance. After a couple minutes of watching he realizes these people are playing hide and seek. They also look a little older than just teenagers. He gets out of a car and sneaks up to some of them hiding in a group behind some trees and bushes. My dad hunkers down behind them and one of them looks back and sees him. The kid freaks out and starts to run and my dad grabs him and says, "Dude, shut up or the other team will find us." The guys crack up cause now they realize my dad is down to win this game. He ends up playing hide and seek with this group of 21-year-olds for the next hour. The best part was about 6 months later. I'm having a Halloween shindig at my house and my dad stops by cause he wants to score some burgers off us while he's at work. He walks in, and a guy at the party is like, "Holy shit, your dad is officer. He played hide and seek with us." The guy is gonna retire next month. I've seen enough movies to know you should never say that. Haha, true. He's already on paid leave at the moment for surgery from being injured. I think he'll be alright. He was injured? But he was just 1 month from retirement. While in college we got the police called on us for a violent crime in progress. When they pounded on our door we opened and they barged in. The neighbor reported hearing people yelling things like, "Shut up you little cunt, I'm going to rape your freaking 12-year-old ass," along with a girl screaming profanity. When the cops saw it was 3 guys and a girl drinking and playing Halo, the one just looks at the others in sheer disbelief. The cop starts to tell us they were called in for a rape in progress and tell us how we need to be more careful and whatnot, because it could have ended badly. During this time my friend is still on the headset and the other guys we were playing with are wondering what the hell is going on and are hassling him, and then my friend says with the cop in the room, We were apparently raping Euphoricas so badly somebody had to call the cops, and the cops just can't hold it in and start cracking up. They did give us a noise warning, but no citations. I had a very similar experience playing the Rocket 64 back in the day. We got so rowdy the neighbors called the police thinking there was a domestic going on. The police broke down the door of my friend's apartment thinking they needed to save someone's life only to find 4 drunk dudes huddled around the TV. To those of you who haven't experienced this, drunk driving is a game where you get shit-faced while playing the Rocket. The rules vary depending on who you play with, but generally the rules are that you are supposed to finish a beer before every game, 3 laps, and after each game you take a shot for each place you are away from first. After about 5 games you are absolutely trashed and yelling obscenities at each other while attempting to still play this game that you have recently become absolutely awful at. It's honestly the greatest drinking game I've ever played. 5. 7 definitely recommend. Growing up I played the safer version called Don't Drink and Drive. You has to finish your beer by the end of the race, but you couldn't drink while moving. You had to pull over and come to a complete stop first.